Hi friends, in the part 1 we have seen how by using our xlsxwriter library we have created Excel files, and then we have added the different formats, then we have created charts also. Now we'll learn how we will take the data from a database like it can be MySQL or SQLite or any database, and we accordingly will create the Excel file and add various charts to it. We'll learn all about this. We'll start from here. The first we are because we will be connecting to our database, so it can be SQLite or MySQL, anything it can be. So we are importing the SQL KME to create the engine or the connection string. Now in the next line we are imported xlsxwriter. In the part 1 we had discussed how to install it and how to start working on it. Now this is the path. What happens in this particular location, this is our file name is student.xlx file. This file we are creating by using the data. In your case this path will change. Now you can store it based on your location. Now let me just put 2 lines of code to create the connection string. You can see here 2 lines. One line I have commented here because this line if you are to use if you are using MySQL or MySQL database. Now here the root, password, the database name I am given at the end. You can see this is a database name. Now if I am using SQLite, then this particular one line I will keep it. If I'll remove this and connect it, now this will be MySQL. But anyone we can use it. And how do database that sample table to be installed, or how to install it in SQLite and all, that link is there at the description. Sample code is there. You can just run it and create your table, and with some sample records, around 35 records will be there. So this is SQLite, so it's a file based. So here is the path to my database. This DB is here. Let me just move a bit. Yeah, so this is the DB is here. In your case, if you are keeping it in some other location, change this path. So both the cases we have kept the variable name, or the connection object is my_connection. So easily we can use it. Any one of either SQLite or MySQL, anything can be used. Now let's just start using our we'll start creating our worksheet and Excel workbook. So WB, as usual we have given our name. WB is our xlsxwriter. Now here I am selling workbook. Where I will creating, it's my path, because at the top third line we have declared what is path. So at that particular address the path this our Excel workbook will be created. Now we'll add a worksheet. So this worksheet on this workbook, so we'll say add worksheet. So now our worksheet is ready. So in that worksheet we'll add our data. So for that, just you imagine at the top line or the header line we'll be giving, because our student table has 5 columns: ID, name, class, mark and gender. So these 5 columns headers will put it in a different font or a higher size font and all. So for that we'll use a format. We have already discussed about how to do a format and all in part 1. Once again it is here, my format WB. It's a workbook I am using, workbook, and adding a format style actually. Format. Now what I am saying is, inside this dictionary, now I'll say bold. Bold equal to true, means yes it is bold. Then font, it has to be within quotes because element font color. Font color, let me give it, you can give anything. I am giving red. Now let me just come to the next line. So now what I will say, some other members also. So align, now this align will be, let me give it center. That's alignment. Now one BG color or the background color I will give. Background color is here. Now let me give yellow or any other. This is the hex code I am using, 3400. This is for yellow. That's all. I have just declared what's my one format I have declared. I have so far not used it. Let it be there. So we'll add that one. So let's just move up a bit. Now once this is there, let's build a query. What is the query? Query will require it to, because this query will pass to our database and get our data. So we'll say select Star meaning I am saying pull all the columns. There are 5 columns, so 5 columns, all the columns will come. I can write individually also, name, mark, all these things. I am writing all. From, what's my table name is student. Now instead of getting around 30-35 records are there, I am restricting it. Give me 5 records only, 0 to 5. So limit, start from the first one, return me 5 records. So from top it is 5 records. Now let me just create that one, my data. Now whatever query I have written, my underscore connection, this is the connections we have created. Here it is. Let me just move up a bit. Query my format at the top. Here it is at line number 5. Our connection based on where you are, MySQL or anything. My connection dot execute. What it will execute is our query. So now the query we have executed. So we got the entire data in our my data. So we'll be looping through it and working on it. So but before that, let me just, because we have a header, because we are not only interested on the data, we also want to interested the column headers, because that there we will be adding our formatting. So for that, how we'll get the column headers is ws. Now worksheet, we are writing write row, because one row entirely will write it starting from A1. This we have already discussed in part 1 also. A1. Now I am saying my data, but keys. Now this will hold the my column headers, ID, name, class, mark, gender. Those headers, column headers will come here. Now I'll saying apply my format. So this is what I have declared at line number 8. Now I am applying it here. So this will be bold and font color will be red, background should be yellow and the center aligned. All these styles will be applied here. Now only I have created the header row. Now so far I have not added the records to the table. To our Excel. Now one thing I should not mix. I will close my WB close. Now I have to close my workbook is closed, saved and closed. Now up to this point also we can run and check once. Let's just run this. This is, note that only header is there and no other data. Yeah, there is no error. Let me just pull it here. Let me see what's my student table looks like. Excel page is created. I am opening it. Just see ID, name, class, mark and gender. This much, whatever the headers we have given, that is only has come. We'll write the row and column. So 2 variables, row and column. We'll set the values for row equal to 1 and column equal to 0. So let us write that also, row equal to 1 and column is 0, because row 0 is where our headers we have already written. So next line or row equal to 1 we are taking. So now let's say for row data in my data. My data is the what we are getting from the database, and each row we will be looping through. So each time we'll write one row data inside the loop. WS write row. So where you will write, let's write it RC, and the data is our row data. That's also, it will first one line the data it will write, and next row will be written on the next line. So for that we will increase the R equal to R plus 1. So row value will first 1, then 2, 3, like that it will continue. So each row will be written there. That's all. Now this, we'll see how this works. Let's run this and see. So okay, it is created. Now let's go there and check how the data is. So already we have written the header. Now the data will be collected and it will be written. Here it is. The up to 5 records are collected. Now I can close this, change the number of records also. Let me just close this, go back here. Now I can change it to 10. So 10 records will be collected. Now I am saving this, running it once again. No error. So 10 records will be collected. Now if I'll open this one, we can see there are 10 records will be there. So you can see the 10 records. Now let's move and create a chart using the mark column. We'll use one column chart. Let's reduce the number of records to 5 again, and using these 5 marks we'll display one chart. So let's just move it up. We'll come out of this. We have already written the data. Now we'll say chart equal to, we'll create a chart object, wb.add chart. Now here, what type of chart we are adding it? So this graph is a type, value we'll write it as column. So we'll saying column chart. Now that is, it is ready. Now we'll add a series where from the data will be used. So chart dot add series, CRI, okay. So now this series we are adding. Now we'll show the where from this data and the values will be, sorry. Now here values, now values will be taken from the location. Here I will say equal to sheet 1. Now the range we have to specify from where to where it will take. Now here again D $2, because D is the mark column. When the student, you will see the ID, name, class and marks. So D column the marks fall, and 1 is the header. So from the D2 will take the data, so the marks will come, and again for that we will say D, and it will end at 6. So from D2 to D6 the data is available. So that series will take, or the data will be taken from there. Now WS, now insert chart, insert chart, which location this will be inserted? A7, because up to A6 it is used. A7, now we are saying the chart. So here A7, sorry, here it will be end, and here quote is not required. So that's all. Let me just run it and see whether any, if it is okay. Yeah, it is fine. Now let us go and see our student table, how the chart is added or not. So the marks will be displayed, below that the chart will be. You can see here, yeah, here is the chart is available. So at at this location A7, this location the chart is starting, and based on the column D, here you can see the D column, D2 to D6, up to D6 the data is taken and the column chart is printed. That's all, friends. So this is the how we'll, in the part 1 we discussed about basics of Excel, how you will create with formatting and all, and now we are taking data. And note that data can be taken from SQLite or any other database also. And the same fashion the data can be displayed and the chart can be created. So next we'll move to other libraries also, how to read the Excel files and all. So I'll request you, please subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon, so you'll be notified as and when we add new tutorials. We frequently do that. And if you have any doubts or suggestion or comments, anything, post it in the comment section below, and accordingly we'll modify our script. And please share this with your friends, and thank you for watching.